guys, it's Rachel. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. In today's video, we will be reviewing the Bareminerals Gen Nude Eyeshadow Palettes. But before we get into that, I do have a couple reminders. One, voting for the Something Old episode is up on my Instagram right now. It's between the Moon Dust and the After Dark palette from Urban Decay. I will put the link below. Please go vote. I really want to make the video that you guys want to see. So if you vote, I know what you want to see. And then the other thing is I do have a giveaway going on my channel right now, and it ends at the end of the month. I will link the giveaway video down below so that you can go ahead and enter that. So like I said, we are reviewing the Gen Nude eyeshadow palettes today. And let me first start with the packaging it comes in. It comes in these cute little boxes. I got the Latte Palette and the Rose Palette. The Rose is for fair to light skin tones. The Latte, I believe, is for dark to deep skin tones. And I'll explain that in a little bit. And then they come with these little lookbook cards, and they are in, I think, French and English, so there's only 3 looks. It's not double-sided, and they're just suggestions for how to use the palettes. So this is a new release from Bareminerals. They released it a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, not too long ago. And they are $30 each, and they have 6 eyeshadows for a total of 0.18 ounces, and it's a different formula than the original Ready formula, which is what I wanted to test them out for, because I love the Ready formula, the pressed formula from Bareminerals. It's one of my favorite formulas of all time. Something about it just is so blendable and beautiful. But they came out with a new formula, the Gen Nude formula, and I don't know why I'm showing you this. I'm gonna swatch it in a second, but I want to tell you a little bit more about the palettes. So they say that they are a good for skin nudes made for every skin tone. Each palette features 6 neutral tone matte, satin, and metallic eyeshadows. The long-lasting eyeshadow colors are highly pigmented with mineral-rich ingredients, including cucumber extract that soothes and depuffs the eye area, moisturizing borage oil for softer skin, and antioxidant-rich algae that helps protect skin. They are crease and smudge resistant and ensure you look flawless all day long. It has a step-by-step guide, and they have the palettes recommended for skin tones, but any skin tone can use any palette. So the Rose palette, which is this one right here, is for fair to light skin tones. The Neutral palette is for light to medium. The Copper palette is for medium to tan, and the Latte palette is for dark to deep. And it says it's long lasting, so we're going to be doing a wear test and testing that. Crease resistant and smudge resistant, so we'll test that in the wear test. And it's saying there's something for every skin tone. It's soothing and depuffing. I don't know if I can test the soothing and depuffing because I'm not puffy. It helps protect from environmental stressors. I don't know that I can test that. And it's paraben-free, phthalate-free, talc-free, gluten-free, and fragrance-free, and cruelty-free. So that is all the Bareminerals information on the palettes, and that's quite a lot. I know, I'm sorry I was reading that, but the reason I got like the lightest and the deepest is because I wanted to get the one recommended for my skin tone, and I am fair to light. I am fairly light in Bareminerals foundation, so I wanted to get the one recommended for my skin tone. But honestly, the colors of the Latte, these golds, oh my god, they called to me. And I thought it'd be cool to showcase the deepest and the lightest. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these for you and tell you about the texture and everything and how it compares to the Ready. I don't have any Ready shadows available to like visually compare it, but I know the formula. Like, you know, I've worked for the company, I know the formula. So first we have Haze, this matte white, and then Pixie. And these mattes are pretty good, but they're close to my skin tone, so they're hard to see. And then we have Boho. And these shimmers, the texture of them when you touch them feels almost like a ColourPop shadow. Like, they feel kind of creamy, and with a finger they go on really intense. But let me tell you, with a brush, if you want that intensity, you do need to wet it, and you do need setting spray or a glitter glue. And this one is Free Spirit. See how intense that is? And then we have Soul, and then we have Stargazer. So those are all your fair to light shades. And I am swatching these with no primer on my arm. My fingers are dry. I'm wiping my hand off with a towel in between. So now we're going into the Latte Palette, and this is Fringed, Destiny, Firefly, and Feels, Solstice, Spirit. So those are all 6 of the latte shades. So you can see there are 4 shimmers and 2 mattes. And with the Rose palette, there were 4 mattes and 2 shimmers. Looking at them in the pan though, it looks like some of those shimmers may be satins, but they come off when you swatch them as metallic as the rest of them. So I'm gonna say that there's 4 shimmers and 2 mattes. And I have been testing these for about a week now, so I do have a solid opinion on them, how I feel about them, whether or not I think they are worth $29 a piece. But first, let's get into the application so you can see how these babies go on the eyes, and then we'll do the wear test, and then I'll let you know my thoughts at the end. So first I'm going to prime my eyes with Urban Decay Primer Potion, and this is my only eyeshadow primer I use, so I know how it performs and how it affects shadows, and I know that it does increase the pigment intensity and the longevity of most shadows, but there are shadows that have underperformed when I've been wearing it and have worn off when I've been wearing it, so it's not gonna affect the test too much. If it's a crappy shadow, it's gonna show up as a crappy shadow. So I'm just going into the Rose palette and this color right here, Haze. And I'm using Bareminerals brushes today because I wanted to test them with the brushes that they probably were meant to be used with. So I'm using the Shade and Diffuse, and I'm just setting down that primer. I only have 3 Bareminerals eye brushes. I forget the names of them, but I have the Shade and Diffuse, a flat one, and a fluffy crease brush. So next we're going into Soul right here and taking that all over the lid and into the crease. And then I am taking the blender and blending that crease out. And this for me is an everyday type eye look, and I feel like since these palettes were meant for your go-to everyday look, I should do something that I would do on an everyday basis. And when I'm traveling and trying to do a quick, easy look, this is what I like to do, is one color all over the lid, blend it into the crease, and they go on pretty pigmented and blend really nicely. This brush doesn't deposit a lot of color. I want it to go on more sheer because this is pretty dark. So as you can see, it's not as dark as it is in the pan on my eyes. I think I'm gonna intensify the right side a little bit because the left side is a little bit deeper than the right side. So just blend that out some more. Okay, now they're uneven. Okay, then what I like to do once I have one color on the lid and in the crease is I like to take a shimmery color and pop it in the center for like an easy halo eye. So I'm going to be taking Boho right here on the Shade and Diffuse brush, just on the other side of it that doesn't have that soul color, and just patting that in the center rather messily, but that's okay. This is just a quick like 2-minute eye look. And that is the top lid. For the bottom lid, I will be taking this Rimmel Scandalized Nude Eyeliner and putting that on the waterline. Then I will be taking this Sigma pencil brush, and I know I said I was using all Bareminerals brushes, but I forgot I don't have a pencil brush from Bareminerals, and just going into Soul, just on the tip, and just running that right up on the lashes. So this is the completed look. There's not really a color in here for a shimmery highlight, so I'm just going to take Haze, that matte white, on the inner corner and do a matte highlight, because there's nothing wrong with a matte highlight. Sometimes it's good and looks better than a shimmery highlight. And I already have that up on the brow bone from when I set my eyes. So yeah, it blended really nicely, went on pretty smooth. The shimmers went on really subtle, and time of application is 11:13. So it's 1:24. So it's been a little over 2 hours. I just wanted to check in. I haven't done anything besides film some other videos, and so far, just looking at it, for some reason my mascara is transferring, but the eyeshadow still looks really good, and even the lower lash line is still intact. I just have mascara everywhere because I don't know why. Lash domination doesn't usually do this to me. I don't know, but no changes after 2 hours, so I'll check back in with you in 4 hours. And at some point today, I am planning on working out and putting this through sweat and everything, so we will see how that goes. We'll see you in a little bit. So it is now 3:23. So that's about the 4-hour mark, just a little past the 4-hour mark. And I haven't really done anything except pick my dog up from the vet and edit some footage. So nothing really that would cause my makeup to come off, and it still, to me, looks exactly the same. The shimmer maybe sort of melted a little bit more into the matte, if that makes sense. It's kind of meshing a little bit more than being differentiated from it. It sort of looks just like a shiny spot of the same color instead of a different color, which is kind of a weird thing to happen, but that's the only change that I've noticed. So I'm probably gonna work out before the next check-in so you see how this holds up with like getting sweaty in strenuous activity, and I will see you in a little bit. So it's 7:55 right now, if it'll focus. Come on, 7:55. So it's just under 9 hours in, and I didn't do a 6-hour check-in just because I felt like it was exactly the same and it was kind of pointless to come and be like, hey, no changes. So I just got done working out, if you couldn't tell by my outfit, and my hair's up and I'm a little shiny. I sweated a little bit, not profusely, but a little bit. And the eyeshadow I think has maybe faded a little bit and is maybe faded on the lower lash line a little bit, but it's still there. It doesn't seem to be creasing or smudging, maybe just a little bit of fading after 9 hours and a workout. So I would say it does live up to its claim of long wearing and smudge proof and crease proof, because I don't feel like I look any smudgier than I did when my mascara messed up on me, and I don't see any creasing whatsoever. So thumbs up for the wear test. So now that I've done a 9-hour wear test on these palettes and tried them out for a week almost, I got them on Tuesday and I'm filming this on Monday, and I've played with them every day, so I guess that is 7 days. I have tried them out for a week actually, like exactly a week. What are my thoughts on these? Do I think these are worth $30? Should you go out and get them? I think the shadows themselves are really great quality. They're really blendable, they have a nice medium amount of pigment, and they are long wearing and don't crease or smudge. They're really good shadows. The complaint I have with these palettes is the color story and the layout of the palettes themselves. These are meant to be your go-to everyday natural palettes. And let's take specifically this rose palette. You have 2 matte light shades, 2 medium depth shimmer shades, and 2 deep matte shades. So for me, this isn't a complete look. I mean, of course, today I did this complete look with it with the one color all over because I applied it really sheerly, but there's no way I can use this palette without looking like I'm doing some sort of gray smoky eye, and for me, that's not an everyday look. That's just not. If I want something everyday and natural, I want something like matte that's medium tone and light that's a shimmer. So this isn't an everyday palette for me just because of the depth and the colors, you know, like make one of these shimmer, one of these matte, one of these shimmer, one of these matte, and it's the perfect palette for me. But they did 2 light mattes, 2 medium depth shimmers, and 2 deeper mattes, and it just for me doesn't make sense. But if you can create complete looks with colors like these, then I say go for it. They're great quality shadows, but for me, it's just not a go-to everyday all-in-one palette without a matte medium and a light shimmer. It's just not for me. And the Latte palette, the same goes. There are 4 shimmers and then 1 medium matte and 1 deep matte. That's just not enough. That's too many shimmers for me. And I can create a pretty look with it, but I can pretty much only do like 1 look with this palette, maybe 2 looks. And it's not a go-to everyday palette because it doesn't have a right ratio of mattes and shimmers in the right depths, like light, medium, dark. True, this palette is made for deeper skin tones, so that's why there's not a lot of light colors, but I'm just saying for me personally, this is why it's not a go-to everyday palette. So do I think these are worth $30? The quality of what's in them, yes. With the colors that you get and what you're able to create, no, I don't think so, at least not for me. I still will have fun with these. I'm not gonna return them. I don't like returning stuff unless I'm absolutely disappointed, and I do like the shadows in them, so I'm not returning them. I'm keeping them. I still like them. I just don't think, for me, they're what they're intended to be. They're intended to be your natural, everyday, go-to palette, and they just don't have everything I need to be my go-to. They just don't. So I would think about that, look at them really closely, see if they have the finishes and the depth and the colors that you need for your everyday go-to before you invest the $30 in them. But if they do have the finishes and the depths and the colors that you want, these are great palettes. The shadows in them are great. You can obviously see from the wear test, they're very long wearing, they're crease proof, they don't smudge, they blend well, they're pigmented, the shimmers can be really intense if you wet them. So they're good if the colors work for you, but they don't work for me, unfortunately. So this goes down as a miss. And I've seen a lot of new releases from Bareminerals, like they released a new eye primer and a new mascara as well. So let me know down below if there's anything else you want me to try and review from them, because I definitely will do that for you. That completes this video. So let me know your thoughts down below on what you think about these eyeshadow palettes, if you're gonna pick them up, if the color stories work for you. And thank you so much for watching this video. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys next time. Bye!